This conference will now be recorded.
All right, so today is Wednesday, October 28th, and as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. So we have 3 days of October trading left, and we go into November, where we have elections coming up. We got a bunch going on coming into there because, as we know, things have been just a little, especially coming into the afternoon, just a little bit slow. A lot of people are sitting on their hands, but yesterday overall, just absolutely phenomenal day. So hopefully we're going to continue in that theme rather than go back to kind of waiting around a little bit. So let's talk about what we have out there this morning. First thing is AUVI. So I'm going to tell you something. I was watching both regular time and sales, just going up. I have no idea what brought it up to the number 10, besides really, really thin orders and really nothing. So my one worry here is that we're getting some real nice buying. If you look right to come back down to 11, right after 11, you have one print at 12, which, one print actually does go a long way. And now we're starting to see a higher amount of buying coming in, 1245 to 1250. Coming back over here, there's definitely some bigger prints that are starting to happen up here. So, but the one thing that does worry me is the fact that it came up. There's nothing that's really substantial that's holding it above this 10 level. So it's something that we're going to have to be very careful of. If you're in this trade, once you start to see the buying die down, you got to get in play defense. You're going to have to take off a certain percentage. We talked about this yesterday in Traders Exchange, and really take off that exposure, because this is not an easy trade. This is a very advanced trade, especially considering the fact because most of the prints that are going to be coming into it are coming in at off level, which doesn't really give you a great idea of exactly where it's looking to go. So you're going to have to use a lot more money flow than you would just controlling prints coming in. Unless controlling prints actually end up happening, I just don't see that based off of the orders and the way that we've been seeing the thing move so far this morning. But overall, we have some real nice buying right here. Like I said, around that 1245, there's no way in the world that they were only looking to make basically, 25 cents. So overall, after this pullback underneath that 12, where we did have a print, I'm going to be looking for this thing to make a breakout back over that 13 level. But the thing is we have to make sure that buying continues as the stock is coming back down. Otherwise, this thing is going to collapse underneath that 10 because there's just no substance in its foundation from what it actually moved on. So overall, definitely big range, nice, nice looking stock. It's just not easy. It's not going to be one of those, where it's just shows this and come, and don't get me wrong, that could happen if we get controlling prints. Its personality just so far is showing that's not going to be the case. SDKT, so right now it doesn't look too great. All right, but on the push up that we had before, right, coming into after 8:30, we had some beautiful buying that came in. I'm not talking, about just a few prints to make it go up 25 cents. I'm talking about there's no reason that this thing shouldn't have been able to break back up and get towards those highs. Especially, it has a little bit of buying that came in at the 4 early this morning. But overall, we just really needed to hold this 340 because that's a big spot. If it comes underneath there, there's a lot of room back down. There's a lot of triggers there that can also hold it, but I really would like to see it hold there and look for those shorter term buying that comes in. Some stuff that looks like this, 354 to 355. Unfortunately, there's not much. Yeah, right here, something like this. This is the type of prints that we're going to want to see coming into it first to get back up there. I don't want it to break that level because, like I said, it's just, unfortunately, if it comes back down, there's just not much to hold it. So overall, we do have the buying to get back up. It's just going to be a matter of getting that shorter term buying and getting some type of building buying too to be able to hold it here to get us back on our way. So trigger towards the upside, I'm perfectly fine with a high percentage. FSLR, so I haven't seen this one in a long time. We used to talk about these stocks, pretty much constantly. But overall, there's just no prints in it yet. But at the same time, it's got some really, really nice range already. So we know that there's going to be movement coming into there. There's only 189 shares, which I really wish would have, we would see something better. So really what it's going to come down to as we come down to this 90, we need to see something because 91.50 that happened earlier this morning, that's just not, that's not going to be enough. We need to see some type of print start to come into this. My only worry is that once the market opens that it doesn't really trade consistently, but we'll see that as soon as it happens. And as of right this second, we can't really go on anything without those controlling prints in the first place. But based off of what we have in the personalities, 9150 showed us that it can break this 90, just based off of that. So we do have the 9150 that came in on the ask a little bit around 8:30, but that was just kind of as it popped up. It looked like more covering, so I'm going to follow what happened first, especially considering it happened at 6:38 this morning. But again, there's really nothing to follow. When I say follow, I mean I'm looking for the expectations of that. There's nothing in there yet. We needed some definitive prints that are going to come in around the 90 or where it actually is, because we don't have anything to really trigger back up to, and it's too far past 9150 to really use those as where the stock needs to go towards the downside. So controlling prints coming in, we should get a nice trade. From what I remember, this is a very smooth trading stock. Overall, it just hasn't traded a lot of volume. So if we can get that volume up today, we can certainly see a big range, nice trade coming in. It just needs those controlling prints. BBBY, another one where obviously it is shortable. This, I don't know what it fell down on, but whatever it did fall down on, it's absolutely no volume. Volume started to pick up just a little bit. So again, it hasn't really given us what we're looking for yet. You have these prints here at 21, which are decent, and based off print personality coming to 20, keep, continuously showing us selling, really going to be looking for it to pull up to somewhere around this 2170 print line. And then obviously looking for a trigger back down towards that 20 level. Remember, 20 is one of those levels where it's a hard thing to get away from. So having that variable there, nice little trigger towards that downside, nice little dollar trade, fairly cheap. Looking pretty decent. So, basically all the controlling prints have been selling at 21 and at 20. Now, the one thing about this stock is, though, it's trading 712,000 shares. Its print personality is pretty thin for a stock that has that much volume, and usually BBBY thickens out a whole bunch. So keep that in mind as we're coming into there. Once the market opens, we're going to want to see a lot more than this, okay? But based off of pre-market and what it's doing right now, that is a substantial amount. And then SRRK, which we were talking about yesterday, and watching, and just a beautiful stock, and in the aftermarket pushed all the way up. I mean, just a huge move yesterday. I'm going to keep it on our side list because it does have some really nice buying that it never pulled back from, coming down towards those 29, 28. So I wouldn't be surprised after such a huge day. Remember, to sustain volume like this at 53 million shares when typically it didn't trade anything is going to be a hugely hard thing to do. So if we start to see some sellers coming in here, I'm going to be looking for the short trade, okay, number one, because that gives us such a higher percentage than obviously taking it long and continuing. But if the volume starts getting pumped in and we see it has a chance of making 53, that's one thing. But I have a very hard time seeing that that's going to be able to be possible. So as of right now, nothing there yet. But based off of our pattern and based off of typically what happens when a stock trades that much volume out of personality, looking towards that downside, if we get any type of selling, is where my mind's going to the higher percentage right now. But side list, just because obviously it hasn't shown us anything yet. And these 32.50, I mean, that's not going to do anything. We need to see more than that. So we got a bunch of stuff going on out there. It's just, again, kind of hesitant on where we're marketers are being kind of hesitant on getting in, really showing a lot during the pre-market as of late. So most of our trades and our controlling prints come as we get closer to the open of the market, and when the market actually is open, that's fine. All right, just make sure that we understand that pattern and we apply it towards our trading. Now, anything else out there that I missed? Anything else going on out there? Nope. All right. So let's get ready. Let's hope that we have a same type of morning that we did yesterday. We have absolutely phenomenal trading day all around. So let's continue that going on. I will talk to everyone in the chat, and happy trading.